Hi everyone, tonight we're working on the 308. Now we've had a little problem getting the car through emissions. Every couple of years we have to get the car through emissions so we can get it retitled and everything. And last time we did it, it passed with flying colors. This time it failed, and it was the hydrocarbons that were too high, which that tells me that we got obviously a bunch of unburnt fuel. Question is, from where? So you can usually tell by taking temperature readings of the exhaust manifolds, or if you have cats, your cats will be really hot on the side that is, it has all the unburnt fuel because it goes into the cats and then it burns and they get really hot. So there's ways you can figure out which ones they are. But on this car, we had a problem in that the spark plug caps down here were popping off. And it took me a while to kind of figure out exactly what was going on with it. But let me show you something. This is one of the old spark plugs that I pulled out. And it's not that old. Look at it. It looks just fine. But the end of it, these threads here are all smushed down on one side. Really, really bad. And so when the spark plug cap goes on the top of it and goes clunk, clunk, clunk over the top, it just isn't holding on to it. And then there's a secondary problem. Let me show you that. So here's the problem with this spark plug, that when you go to put it in, you can see these sort of flat spot right there on it. It just goes in very easily and comes out really easily. There's really nothing super holding these guys on. So that's a problem. Another problem is, take a look at this gasket that goes all the way around this thing. It's a completely airtight seal around here. So as this, and these are really long. I mean, that hole goes down quite a ways there. Look at that. See how far down that goes? So the problem is that when you get this guy in here and you've got these things on and they're tight, they get hot and they start to expand a little bit and they start to pull up like this. And if they're not connected to the spark plug, which is really all that's holding them in, they'll tend to pull out. And this is what I saw. I saw these things all puffed out like this, which meant that they were actually sitting, instead of sitting in like that, they were sitting out and they were just sort of bumping in here against it. And that's what was causing the high unburnt fuel, high amount of unburnt fuel. So the way I'm going to fix this is twofold. I've got brand new set of spark plugs, so that'll take care of the strip bit at the top here, so that's great. Then I have these little red tubes. Now we've all seen these things a zillion times. They're what come on your brake cleaner or your carburetor cleaner or pretty much any spray can that has squirts out goo. It'll have one of these guys on it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a very, very sharp tool here, and I'm going to push a hole in the side of that red rubber booty, and I'm going to insert one of these little tubes in there and cut it off. And that will provide a little bit of relief, air relief, so it's not a completely airtight seal. And what I understand is more modern Ferraris, or newer Ferraris than this one, that have the same sort of spark plug caps on them, have all been updated to have a little vent on them. Now it's important, we've got grills here, water can come through. They didn't want water and crap settling inside those big long tubes, so I get that. So we're not going to mess with the rubber boot on the top at all. We're just going to mess with the side. We're just going to put a hole in the side so we get a little bit of relief. So let me go ahead and do one, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So just in case we mess this up, I'm going to do it underneath the actual wire that comes out here, so it'll be less noticeable. And what I want to do, I think, is put a hole here. So anywhere in here will pretty much work, as long as it's past these guys. So I just want to poke a hole right straight through here until it goes all the way through. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll just push this all the way through. There we go. Went through pretty easily. All right, great. And then next, we'll take our little piece of red tubing here and push it through that hole we just made. Here we go. All right. Then we'll take our pair of side cutters here and clip this off. Now that's going to leave the tube kind of crimped. We can go back with our really sharp little guy here and open it back up a little bit. There we go. And I guess you can put your finger in here if you're afraid you're going to push it back through. Okay, so there we go. So now we have our little vent there, And you can see it coming through the other side here. Hopefully you can get that all the way down there. All right. And when we insert this on here and put this in, it will now vent. So I won't come home and find these things puffed out like this. So I can push them in, they'll clip down on top of the spark plugs and stay put. Now they've got these big rubber, you know, flanges all the way around in here, so there's no chance that thing really wants to come off. But what we want to see is something that looks more like that than that, which is what I'm always seeing on this. So I've got 8 of these to do. I won't bore you with just watching me do that. It's pretty simple. And installing the spark plugs is the same sort of deal. We just double check the gap on these. It's about 0.028 I think on these, something like that. And I check them and they're all very consistent. They're all very close to each other. These iridiums pretty much come really well gapped from the factory. You should probably always double check them, but be very, very careful of that teeny weeny itsy bitsy little tip on that thing, because you can really mess that thing up. It's very fragile. So that's pretty much it. I'll put a little never sees on them. I'll put them on, I'll torque them in, and hopefully, we'll let you know, but hopefully this should solve our emissions problem. So thank you so much. I hope this was a very short video. I hope it was kind of fun. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Questions or comments or anything at all, please leave it down below and we'll get right to it. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, safe travels. Bye.